Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Master of Orion 2. We are about to continue our conquest of the universe. We are researching currently advanced engineering, I guess, for fighter bays, but actually, upon consideration, I don't really want to do that. In my haste to show off various different technologies, there's one thing that I've neglected to get, which is the computer's line of research. I didn't do that because I wanted to focus on expanding very quickly, but now that I've done that, and honestly I should have done this earlier, I am going to go down the electronics tree. And that's because this tree opens up an extremely valuable early game building, the research lab, and we will see the research lab in action in just a moment. For right now, my production and everything look good. I'm building another colony ship to go to... Where was I sending that? Ah, yes, to go to Naus to grab that large Terran planet. So, let's click the turn through. We've hit our research goal. We've got electronic computers. Now, optronics, very cheap, opens up either the Dauntless Guidance System, which lets your missiles retarget, useful combat ability, the optronic computer, which is an extra bonus to shooting with beam weapons, or the research lab, which is by far the most valuable of these three options. The research lab gives you 5 research points at base, and then it increases the research each scientist produces by +1. So notice, at this point in the game, my whole empire is producing 41 research points. If I build a research lab on both of my current 2 planets, that by itself increases my research by 25%. But also, it gives me an extra it gives me an extra, how many scientists? I have 11 scientists here, I think, right now. So it gives me an extra 11 on Trilar. And on Tristan, nothing. It gives me 5 extra on Tristan. That's a big freaking deal. I mean, that's a big deal. On Trilar, since I have 3 extra food, yeah, moving a guy away would send me into the negatives. So on Tristan instead, we're going to shift a guy from food production to industry, and we're going to buy that freighter fleet real quick. So in 6 turns or less, we're going to have our research labs. We've got another freighter fleet, so we're solid there. We're going to change Tristan now to build a star base to give me extra command points, extra scanning range, all that kind of good stuff, and also the ability to actually construct ships. It will take a long time, but we will probably end up buying it. On Trilar, we've got the colony ship, and so the colony ship is going to go down to Naus and colonize that planet. We can hire Captain Jared the Explorer. He will cost us $1 a turn, but I'm going to hire him just to have him available, because he is pretty neat. He's better than Captain Mukir, that's for sure. He's a helmsman, so he increases defensive bonus by 10 of the ship he's assigned to. He's a navigator, so he increases speed and lets us move through nebulas and black holes. He has weaponry, so he increases attack bonus, and he's a diplomat, so he increases diplomatic negotiations with other empires, which is all very, very useful. He's basically a Star Trek character. So, we've got the research laboratory. Next, we are going to research... Yeah, let's do advanced engineering next, I think. It's very, very cheap. We'll be able to get it quickly, and we'll be able to get fighter bays. After that, we'll research fusion beam. Or should we get class 1 shield? Mass driver is the first actually really useful beam weapon. Damage is not reduced by range, so stacking them is very, very handy. I would also like to get pollution processors, but I want to get my research labs up and rolling before I start research on that because I need more points. Microbiotics is not bad, but once again, expensive. I'm going to focus on grabbing some of the cheap stuff right now. So yeah, let's go fighter bays. So, on Naus, we're going to settle on this large Terran planet. And, of course, we're going to shift this guy down to production. You can see I right-clicked instead of left-clicking, my bad. That gravity penalty is hurting us, but we're still getting 3 production, so we're going to build Marine Barracks, Research Lab, Soil Enrichment. Actually, Research Lab, Hydroponic Farm, then Soil Enrichment. Now, we're going to take advantage of one of the other aspects of freighters, which is that we can shift people from planet to planet. We want Naus to get a running start. It's a large, abundant Terran planet. It's almost as good as Trilar itself. So, we're going to take from Tristan, so we're going to go to our Colonies tab, and from Tristan, we're going to take a worker and move it to Naus. The colonist will be unavailable for 2 turns while in transit, and he'll take up 5 freighters, but it will basically double Naus's production capacity right off the bat, which is very, very useful. We're going to change from the starbase, actually. We're going to build the research lab, and then we'll get the starbase. So the research lab will be done in a single turn, because research labs are extremely cheap. On Trilar, we're going to get the soil enrichment. We might as well get the soil enrichment, and then we'll buy that, and then we'll get the research lab. So, turn, our food surplus immediately goes up to 12, and we have encountered the Nolams, who seem to like us, which is great. So the Nolams are down here in the corner. They have 3 systems, we also have 3 systems. We seem to be well matched. It's going to take us 2 turns to get that research lab. I'm going to move somebody off of food, a couple people off of food. Still can't get it in 1 turn, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we will make do. How much does that hurt us if we do that? That brings us down to 29. We're at -1 food now. Yeah, let's move 1 guy from research back onto food production. Trilar is now extremely high production in terms of food. That gives me 4 surplus, and with 4 surplus I can take him off of food and put him on production as well to speed up that starbase. So, Naus 3 now has 2 settlers. They're both in production to try and get that marine barracks built as quickly as possible. I think at this point, it might be time to set a tax rate. 10% will give us 4 more bucks per turn. Yeah, I think that's worth it. So now if we go to Naus, we can see by clicking over here, nothing is actually being subtracted for taxes from Naus because they don't have 10 production. On Trilar, however, we can see 3 production is being taxed away from industry. That research lab will be done in 1 turn. The research lab on Tristan is already done. Let's see how much our research jumps when we finish that lab. Well, we got a breakthrough, so we don't get to see it yet. So we have fighter bays now. Next, we are going to get automated factories. Planetary missile bases are also pretty cool, but I can trade for those. I want the automated factories, which do for production what research labs do for research. Our research just jumped 17 points. As you can see, we're up to 60 per turn. So, now, we are going to design a ship. Specifically, we're going to design a battleship. Let's clear everything out. Let's pick a cool-looking battleship. How about this guy? He looks like he's got big punching fists. I don't need extended fuel tanks. What I want, I'm going to try to design a ship to take on the Hydra. So we want fast missiles, and as many of them as we can fit. That gives us 25 missiles, a volley, 2 volleys of 25 missiles each, and they're fast. If we don't need them to be fast, we could cut them down and have 31 instead. Let's have just 31 standard missiles. And we will call this guy the, what's a good name for a ship that just spams out a huge number of missiles? Ah, yes. The Macross. We'll name this battleship the Macross. So, a Macross will take 35 turns to build. That's a little expensive. That's a little time-consuming. How about a cruiser? Don't need any specials on him either. We have 120 space here. So if we fit as many missiles as possible on this guy, we can have 15. Okay, 15 missiles. About half the throw weight. We'll call him the Mini-Mac. Mini-Macs will take 15 turns to build. That's a little more reasonable, but we're going to get the industrial factory in that time, and the industrial factory will increase our production significantly. Now, at this point, the pollution penalty is hurting us tremendously. That is basic almost as much as our total industry is being taken away from us due to the pollution penalty. We've got to find a way to mitigate pollution, so pollution processors, especially once we get automated factories, are going to become a big thing. However, let's queue up a couple of mini-Macs. I think 2 or 3 of them should be able to deal with this Hydra. Right now we have 6 command points. cruisers use? You use 1 command point per size level of this ship. So if we look at design real quick, cruisers are size 3. Each cruiser thus uses up 3 command points. 2 cruisers will use up exactly our current command point allotment. And, I'm sorry, 2 cruisers. And I feel like 2 cruisers should be able to deal with this Hydra. I don't know. The problem is the Hydra will get the first shot. It'll probably blow one up on the first shot. So we'll probably also need a scout to sit in front of them and absorb some fire. But we'll see. Okay, so we've got the automated factories. Great. Next, we're going to need the pollution processor. It's going to be expensive. That will take a while to research. Why don't we talk with the Nolams and see if they will swap tech with us? First of all, let's propose a trade treaty. Great. Let's propose a research treaty, which does the same thing as trade treaties, but for research. And then let's exchange technology. I would like reinforced hulls. I don't want to give them automated factories for it. I'll give you soil enrichment for planetary missile bases, though. If you have automated factories and the CP and the AI doesn't, keep them. Automated factories and research labs are a big boost, so 1 turn will get us that automated factory. In Tristan, we also want to build the automated factory. Building it, swapping it in ahead of the starbase will actually save time long run, which is why I'm doing it. And Naus definitely wants an automated factory as soon as it's got its marine barracks. So automated factory even before the research lab. That reminds me, actually, I need to buy that marine barracks. I'm making $1 now, and that is because both of these treaties are subtracting money from my surplus for this turn. You'll see that number go up, so let's watch. We click the turn, we go up to 3. We've finished our automated factories, so now the automated factory here is producing a total of 11. The pollution penalty has gone up, but our net production is still significantly higher than it was. Tristan Prime also finished the automated factory. Now that starbase will only take 17 turns. And Naus 3 finished their marine barracks, so their morale penalty is gone, and they're producing a reasonable amount of industry. If we look at our here, we're -8 on each of those treaties now. Next turn it's -6, and soon they'll start generating for us. 15, 22, random event. A wealthy merchant has contributed 600 BC to the Bulrathi. Wow, lucky Bulrathi. And we have just met the Nolams. The Nolams have contacted us to thank us for the research treaty. Having treaties makes the Nolams like us more. Don't lean too heavily on that. It won't always be true, but for now, it's kind of nice. We're at +6 food, so I can afford to take somebody off Trilar, I think, because right now we're at 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at 3, 4, 5 per farmer, so I can afford to take one guy off there, put him on production to shorten our time frame to buy a turn. Let's buy that automated factory to increase production on Naus. And now Naus will build the research lab, and because they have the automated factory churning out 7 production, it'll only take them 5 turns. The Nolams like us really a lot at this point. It's great. And you can see the research treaty is now producing research points for free, and the trade treaty is now producing a little bit of cash. Oh, the Nolams are now fighting with the Cylons. That's actually really bad, because probably the Nolams are going to get their crap kicked in by the Cylons. Let's see if we can exchange technology. I would like reinforced hulls. I have better production than the Nolams. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. What other treaties we have? We could propose a non-aggression pact. Okay, let's get a non-aggression pact going. That's fine. So Trilar, still producing ships over here. 2 turns. Let's spend 156 to speed that up by 1 turn. Alright, we've christened the Mini-Mac. And now you can see we just dropped to 3 instead of 6 command points. Our starbase will take 10 turns. Let's move this guy to production. No, let's not, actually. Let's leave him making food. Okay, Naus has finished its research lab. Great, it's building a hydroponic farm to ease food constrictions. We're making actually a reasonable amount of money now. So, in Trilar, we can buy the second mini-Mac. After that, we're going to design a destroyer, a slightly smaller ship. We still don't have anything except extended fuel tanks. And we're going to give this destroyer... yeah, we may as well give it nukes as well. Just to make it seem dangerous, if nothing else. We'll give it 7 nukes. And this guy will be the distraction. So, after the mini-Mac, we're going to build a distraction. It will only take 3 turns, which is great. So, we've got the mini-Mac. The distraction is coming up. Can't buy that. We're short by money, but that's fine. On Tristan, how much longer will it be before we have that starbase? 3 turns? Okay. Are we positive on food? We are positive on food by 5 points. Let's move a guy down here. He won't speed up any, so let's put him on research instead. In general, you don't really want to be producing more food than you need. We've got the pollution control facility. Excellent. We're going to leave this alone for a while now. The next thing we want is probably battle pods. Battle pods are a special system you can put on a ship, and instead of costing space, they increase its space by 50%. They do increase the cost of the ship by quite a lot, but being able to fit more stuff onto a ship is a really big deal. On Tristan, I still don't think I can buy that. I can buy that starbase. Let's buy that starbase real quick. And that should give us another point just in time. So, Tristan has finished building the starbase. We're going to put in a pollution processor, and then a missile base just for defensive purposes. I do like having missile bases everywhere if I can afford them. We've got the distraction. We're going to build a pollution processor and a missile base here as well. So we're at -1 point, which means we're spending 10 billion credits per turn maintaining ships. You can see how that becomes a problem really, really quickly. Let's go see if we can take on that Hydra. I don't actually know if I can. I'm a little bit rusty with Master of Orion combat, but we're going to find out. Alright, Space Hydra attacks. Okay, he burned a ship up. That's fine. Let's go to the options. Let's activate Show Legal Moves and Show Shield Arcs. I like to see all of those. So, that's the Hydra. If we scan the Hydra, we can see he has 500 structure. He has an energy absorber, which lets him absorb beam weapons, I think, and reflect the energy back to you. And he has 3 plasma breaths. So we're going to move up there, fire the missiles. The distraction will move down here and fire the missiles. Hopefully he'll shoot at the distraction. So that's 48 damage in there, 78 there. We're not going to make it. We're going to have to retreat. But he's going to burn us up before we get out. Okay. Fair enough. I need MERV missiles before that becomes viable, because MERVs increase the damage your missiles do tremendously. I don't think I can put MERV on them. We're going to make these missiles MERV. That leaves me with 42 space. So we're going to have 19 MERV missiles. And can we make them fast as well? 17 fast MERV missiles. That will be even better. So we're going to design the Macross there. The Mini-Mac also... We're going to make these fast MERV missiles, which means we can only have 8 of them. But MERV capability is very, very important. So, I need better armor before I do that again, I think. Because I need my ships to be able to survive around. Let's talk to the Nolams again, see if they have anything good for us. Reinforced hull? Yes, we'll give it to you for the fusion drive. That is just fine. So now, let me go back into the design screen. We're going to design the Macross with a reinforced hull, which will triple its structure points. That does mean I'm going to have to take out 3 of my missiles. And I'll give it 1 bomb. That will make it minimally able to bombard planets. So the Macross will take 14 turns to build. We're going to start building one immediately. Tristan, meanwhile... Tristan is building its pollution processor. I think Trilar already finished the pollution processor, correct? Yes, you can see that pollution is quite a bit lower now, and as a consequence, my total industry is much higher. Also, I have 11 Marines, which suck because of all my penalties, but they are there. Naus is up to 3 population. We're going to buy that soil enrichment real quick, just to make sure we don't ever have to assign anybody else to make food on Naus. And Tristan, after it does its pollution processor and missile base, is going to build me... Yeah, build me a mini-Mac to back up my battleship. Oh, we got our breakthrough early, so we've got battle pods now. Excellent, excellent, excellente. The next thing we want is shields. Shields are really important. They regenerate a little bit in combat, unlike health, and you can take damage to them without actually your ships being hurt. So shields, I would like mass drivers as well. I would also kind of like fusion beams. Let's get class 1 shields first, though. So, Naus has got its soil enrichment. Then, let's get a pollution processor, and then we will switch them to producing housing to grow faster. Trilar's got the missile base. They're building the Macross. What's my food surplus at? 3? Okay. Zalrak is a worthless system, right? Yeah. Okay. We're just going to keep chugging along a little bit. Alright, we've got class 1 shields. The next thing we need is we actually need to go down this path, because this path unlocks something very, very important. So let's start researching the fusion beam. The Nolams have colonized 2 more star systems in the time that we've been here. So they're now ahead 5-3. Once we get Mulabat, we'll even that out a little bit. Unfortunately, Aquilay and Morig are worthless to us. Naus does have this barren planet that I could colonize, and so I may well, just to have something to do almost as much as anything. Now Tristan is a tundra world, so they're producing 2 food per farmer, whereas Naus is a Terran world, and so they're producing 3 food per farmer, but they have the gravity penalty. Well, Naus also has the gravity penalty, doesn't it? Yeah, so I'm actually going to take this guy off and put him on production here, and I'll still be positive in food. Great. Okay, Tristan's got the missile base. We've got the fusion beam. Excellent. Next, we want Tachyon Communications, which gives us extra points. Yes, I want Tachyon Communications next. The spaceport is a great building. It increases money by 50%, which is really useful, but right now I'm kind of focused on combat upgrades, although the other thing that I need is fuel cells. I am not going to spend 1150 research points right now on fuel cells, though, so we are going to get these Tachyon Communications to increase the command points from our star bases and let us field a larger fleet. Basically, if I'm not fielding a significant fleet, my industrial bonuses are kind of going to waste. Let's get a starbase going here. Or housing. Let's work on housing first, bump up the population a little bit. Now in Trilar, can't quite buy that Macross just yet. Oh, so Demhi Prime just became a Terran planet, which is excellent for the Nolams, and will be excellent for me once I conquer them. So we've got Tachyon Communications. Next, 900 research points. This is getting expensive, but we gotta go down this path. The Neutron Blaster is an excellent ranged weapon, and also, the next step down this path will solve one of our major problems. The Macross will take a couple more turns. Okay, the Nolams are thanking us for the trade treaty. Excellent. They love us. We're making research points and money off of them. Naus. After the housing... Well, actually, Naus... Let me see. Who has another good planet again? Yeah, Naus has that planet. Naus, I want you to build a colony base. Yes. Take them a little bit of time, but it'll be worth it. On Trilar, we're going to buy the Macross to speed it up. And on Tristan, the Mini-Mac will take a few more turns. I'm -1 on food right now, so Naus is going to put one more guy on producing food. Okay, so we've got our Macross. Great. Now, Trilar should build me a scout, just to send him out and see if I can see anything different now that I have Naus. Okay, we've got a scout. Trilar next. Now, right at the moment, I don't have anything that I really want Trilar to be producing really, really badly. They're close to their population cap. It'll take them a while to reach it. If I went to housing, they could be reaching it twice as quickly. But that's not a huge issue for me. So the question now is, what can Trilar build that will be of use? And the answer is probably a colony ship. I've got a scout. The colony ship will follow the scout and go find a new place to colonize. So this scout can now reach all of these systems down here. So we're going to go check out that system. And we've got our mini-Mac. Excellent. So Tristan Prime will now also build housing in order to kick them up towards their population cap, which they're nowhere near yet. That will take 2 turns to reach the enemy. This will take 2 turns to reach the enemy. So they should get there at exactly the same time. And there's a space amoeba at the Icarus system. So, let's take a look at the space amoeba. The space amoeba is actually easier than the Hydra. It has less structure and less combat speed. We are going to retreat because this scout cannot at all fight it, but unfortunately the scout is exploded by the caustic slime. The Icarus system has an ultra-rich planet with a splinter colony, which means you automatically start with some population when you settle this planet. This is also a fantastic planet, and I want it badly. Ultra-rich, combined with my production bonus, means even with 10 max population, this planet could be an industrial powerhouse. And a Nolem spy has stolen battle pods from me, the bastards. They're spying on me. I'm gonna have to kill them. But first, I'm gonna have to pump out some spies of my own for defensive purposes. Alright, we're being attacked by the Space Hydra. Okay, we lived. We're gonna live long enough to get our missiles off, which is what matters. So move up there, fire the missiles. You come up in front and fire the missiles. There we go. That's the Hydra done for. So, Kimbuzi has gained a level, and Trilar has just finished the colony ship exactly in time. So this colony ship is going to go to Mulabat. Mulabat is, ultra-rich. Heavy G, but ultra-rich with gold deposits. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to now build, actually, instead of spies, I'm going to build freighters. And we're going to build freighter fleets, which only take 1 turn. Each freighter fleet, remember, can transport 1 colonist. We're going to buy like 5 or 6 of them. And we are going to use them to slam a whole bunch of population from our relatively less productive colonies over to Mulabat as soon as the colony is founded. So Trilar is building a freighter fleet per turn. Tristan is building a freighter fleet per 2 turns. We're going to spend the money to buy an extra one there. This fleet I need to move back to one of my colonies to repair. So move down to Naus. Oh, Naus doesn't have a starbase, does it? Not yet. Buy that colony base, and then get a starbase going. Starbases are where you can repair your ships. So this fleet should actually go to Tristan. We are going to colonize Mulabat. Industry per worker, 10. 10 industry per worker, before bonuses. Now, it's heavy G. So, I keep right-clicking instead of left-clicking. So look, it's 8 plus the Trilarian bonus. We lose half because of gravity. And then we're also losing 2 because of the morale penalty. So, we need the Marine Barracks, we need the Automated Factory, we need the Research Lab, and the Pollution Processor. In that order. We now have the money to buy the Marine Barracks outright, right at the start. And we're also going to colonize Naus 2. Now, Naus 2 can't produce any food. So once again, Marine Barracks, Automated Factory, Research Lab, Pollution Processor. Those are all just staples of fledgling colonies now. We've got a whole bunch of freighters. So Tristan, let's go back to colonies, actually. Tristan is going to take, let's say, 3 colonists to Mulabat. Yes, that will take 15 freighters. I can afford to move 2 more. We're going to move 2 more workers from Trilar to Mulabat. And that should be fine. So, we're overproducing food fairly significantly, actually. Trilar should take somebody off food, put it on production. We're building... I don't need many more freighter fleets, so that's fine. What I do need is another Macross, and then another colony ship. Actually, to be honest, I don't need another Macross. That fleet, since it could clear out... Well, the corrosive spit does a ton of damage because it surrounds the whole ship. So, a few more ships would be good to deal with that space amoeba. Probably won't need another Macross, actually. A mini-Mac would work fine. Let's get me a mini-Mac and a colony ship. Alright, so Mulabat has got the Marine Barracks. They're up to 5 production per worker now. As soon as they get the automated factory, that will be even higher. I'm just barely short. 1 turn. 5 settlers just arrived at Mulabat. They are all producing. We're up to 18 industry already. And most of the loss is from the gravity penalty. I'm short by $1 on buying that. So what we need to do now is we need to turn Naus 2 into mainly a farming world. Because they can do it. They've got high food production here. And the hydroponic farm, they are losing from the gravity penalty, but we'll be able to fix that, don't you worry. Mulabat and Naus 2 are both kind of leaning on Naus 1 to provide them with food. We just hit the neutron blaster, so we now have a good beam weapon, and this is why I was rushing that. The planetary gravity generator eliminates the negative effects of gravity fields. It's going to be expensive. It will take me 19 turns to research at current rates. But it is super, super worth it. The planetary gravity generator, actually, I need to change what this is. Once we get the automated factory, well, I have to research it first, but as soon as we research it, planetary gravity generators are going in on every planet. This colony leader reduces pollution by 30%, increases growth rate by 45%, and increases morale by 15%. She's amazing. We are going to put her... I don't care about your freighter fleet. Aren't you building a colony ship? 1 second. Apparently not. So, oh, that was Tristan. Trilar is building a mini-Mac followed by a colony fleet. While I'm on the main screen, let's go down to leaders. And let's put Magistrate Alice at Mulabat. It'll take 5 turns for her to arrive. Then, ship officers. We're going to put Captain Jared on the Macross over here. And he will make it much more effective. So we're going to get the research lab, which will boost our research a little bit. At some point here, I'm going to turn probably Tristan or Naus 2 into a research colony. Right now, they're just building things because they have to. But as they go on, I'm going to shift pretty much everybody on Naus 2 over to research. Because otherwise, they're not impressive. They're not going to produce much for me. So let's move this fleet down to Naus. Let's move this fleet down to Naus. And we'll go take out that amoeba at Icarus. Let's go take him out. Okay, Mulabat has finished their pollution processor. Excellent. They're now producing 40 industry already. Next thing we want from them is a star base. Not even going to worry about food boosting buildings because they're not producing any food, and we're not planning for them to produce food in the near future. Let's get that Marine Barracks up. Alright, we're being attacked by that space amoeba. Fire the missiles. And be done. You move forward and fire the missiles and be done. And you move forward and fire your missiles. And that amoeba bites the dust. He did take one of our cruisers with him, but a splinter colony, a colony once broke off from your race and formed a separate colony, is small, 3 population, and will want to integrate into your society once again. So we already have 3 people here. And we've just met the Cylons. That's a little bit scary. The Cylons are frightening to me. But, so we're on Icarus 3. Right now it's an agricultural colony. But it's ultra rich, so really it should be an industrial colony. I gotta get rid of that gravity penalty. I have to. It's got to go. We need the Marine Barracks, Automated Factory, Research Lab, Pollution Processor. It's really great that I found a couple of such effective industrial worlds. So, the Cylons appear to only have 4 systems. I don't know how many planets they have in those systems, but only 4 systems. Let's talk to Amios and offer to exchange technology, and as you can see, he has a bunch of technology that we don't have, and that I'm interested in having. Let's take Tritanium Armor. He'll trade it for Neutron Blasters. That's okay, because beam weapons are very secondary compared to missiles in combat. I would also like mass drivers. No, you cannot have pollution processors. If you don't have them, then you don't get them. I would like anti-missile rockets, and I will give you soil enrichment for it. Treaty-wise, I actually don't want a treaty with the Cylons because I want to be at war with the Cylons. Unfortunately, their ships are going to be much, much better than mine. At the very least, their ships are going to be 3 times as durable, or twice as durable, because they have Tritanium armor, and I don't. But now that we have that morale bonus, as soon as we get rid of the gravity penalty, production on Mulavat 2 will actually spike to be over the level of production that we're getting on Trilar, which is only 63. At which point Trilar will shift from being an industrial hub to mainly being research and food production, because Trilar is very, very good at growing food, much like Naus is. Need 279 gold to get that. I'm actually going to move. It's only going to take me a little bit more money to get that thing going, so we're going to switch Naus over to being an agricultural colony at this point. And then Tristan 1 can produce a little bit less food in exchange for a little bit more industry. Nah, in exchange for a little bit more research. I don't need Tristan to be building anything in particular. We're going to set them to make some spies, and it's okay if that happens slowly. We'll swap slow spies for a little bit more research. On Trilar itself, our colony ship is being built. Actually, since I've already automatically settled Icarus, I don't need a colony ship, Trilar. So, change that, take the colony ship out, and start producing trade goods instead. That will convert my production directly into cash. And then these industrial troopers can be moved into research to maximize the amount of research I'm producing. Trade goods is now only producing a little bit, but that's fine. I don't need the extra income right at the moment, but more research is always good. You can see my research has already spiked significantly. And since industrial production is going to be done at Mulavat and Icarus from now on, I don't feel bad about it. Icarus, of course, is not producing much yet, but it will be. Just give it time. Gonna end just a few more turns. Icarus has got its marine barracks. We're going to buy the automated factory. Captain Nog, the arms master. Pretty good bonuses. We're not going to hire him just yet. Don't need him. With the automated factory, our production is already up to 18. I am going to swap some more people around. Naus. Naus is kind of my breadbasket at the moment. Let's actually take some people from Trilar, I think. Or, Tristan is probably my most marginal colony. So we're going to take 2 Trilarian workers and transport them to Icarus 3. Yes, I'm okay with them being unavailable. Actually, we're going to take the last of our workers, transport him to Icarus 3 as well. It'll take 4 turns for them to arrive, but that is honestly fine. And Tristan will grow those colonists back in fairly short order. Alright, we've got the planetary gravity generator. Excellent. We can now ignore this for a good little while. The next things we're going to want, we need to get back into military technology. Pulson missiles honestly aren't very worth it. MIRV nuclear missiles, funnily enough, stay your most powerful missile for a while, just because you can make them small, and so you can cram a lot onto a ship, and they do 5 times normal damage. MIRV Pulson missiles do more damage, but you have to pretty much max out the tree before you can get MIRV Pulson missiles. The next thing we're going to want is either the spaceport or the armor barracks. Or the fighter garrison. Probably the spaceport. Let's grab sociology while I'm thinking about it. That does give me some good stuff down there. Okay, Icarus was about to build a pollution processor. Instead, they're going to build a gravity generator. It's shockingly cheap for what it does. And Mulabat, not Tristan, Mulabat, is also going to switch from a starbase to a gravity generator, which they will complete next turn. In fact, all of my colonies are going to build gravity generators. Naus is going to build a gravity generator. Everybody gets a gravity generator. It'll happen in one turn for most people because I'm swapping from other production to it. We'll get the automated factory here before we get the gravity generator, but the gravity generator comes before anything else, just because it is such a big and wide-ranging effect. So, Naus 3 has the gravity generator. All of a sudden, they're producing 22 food. Mulabat 2 has the gravity generator. All of a sudden, their production is 74 industry. Naus 2 has the automated factory. That's fine. Icarus. Does Icarus have the gravity generator yet? Oh, it'll take them 4 turns. Okay, well, we should speed that up a little bit. And we've got the Space Academy, but that's not what I'm interested in. What I'm interested in is the Alien Management Center. Since we are going to be going to war at some point here, the Alien Management Center is going to be critical because it allows us to take over enemy populations much more quickly. What I need to do is I need to get an outpost closer to Cylon territory. So I need an outpost ship, because I can build outposts on gas giants and or asteroids, but I can't build colonies there. But just building an outpost will allow me to use the location as... yeah, don't do that. Just build housing for now. Max out population. Building an outpost allows your ships to use that outpost as a jump-off point to reach enemy territory. So if I build an outpost in Akile, I will be able to reach Gazelle, and then I can use that to attack Mentar. Mulabat needs its starbase, which will be done in 2 turns. Do not put anyone on producing food. Put them all on making industry. Industry, industry, industry. The engines of industry are what we need. Can I build that gravity generator yet? Yes, get it 1 turn earlier. So you'll see immediately that will be eliminated and production will go up to almost 50, which will be fantastic. Okay, yeah, production is up to only 37 because the pollution penalty jumped up. So we're also going to buy the pollution processor to kick that back down, and then production will be fantastic. Mulabat finished its star base. 83 total industry at the moment. We are going to build a missile base here for defensive purposes. It'll only take 1 turn. After that, we'll get the outpost ship. So, things are going our way. We're doing all right. We've got 5 star systems from the 2 we started this episode with, which is, I think, competitive. The Cylons still, it looks like, only have 4. I still can't reach them. I need to get that outpost in Akile, but as soon as I do, my fleets will be able to hit the Cylons, and we will try to kill them before they metastasize into an unstoppable cancer. So, that will be what we do in the next episode. Thank you for joining me. If you like what I'm doing here, consider subscribing to the channel and or supporting the Patreon. There aren't any rewards associated with it right now, unfortunately, except feeling good about not having to watch ads on my channel, which is pretty much all I'm doing right now. In the near future, I'll be adding some rewards. I'm considering starting up a series of patron-only text reviews, or possibly venturing slightly outside the bailiwick of grand strategy games like these, because there are lots of other kinds of games I enjoy, and that I feel like people might like hearing me talk about. So, in any case, whether you do either of those things or not, I still appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next episode.